the Hy-Vee Salute to Farmers 300. They're lined up in rows of two. Penske on the front row. The red car is Will Power. Joseph Newgarden won yesterday. Looking to become a five-time winner. The white and black car on the outside. Let's go again from Iowa. And already Newgarden ducking to the inside. He's going to challenge his teammate.
But look at up top. I think that's Pato O'Ward trying to make that third lane work. We saw some guys going below the yellow line on the front straight, side by side into turn 3. Look at the 5.
Pato O'Ward said, I like 3 lanes, but let's try 4 lanes on the start. He ducks in behind Takuma Sato, and here comes Connor Daly trying to make up for a difficult day yesterday. But Pato O'Ward early to the high side and making it work. He'll push Sato here down the back straight.
Connor Daly on board the Bit Nile, number 20 Ed Carpenter racing car. Seeing that side-by-side action, and Pato O'Ward clears the position. He's in third. Side-by-side, Harvey and Scott McLaughlin, black and blue car on the top side. We're on his Freightliner on board.
The benefit of this high line is you have clean air generally, a lot of cars going low early, and you don't have to steer the car as tightly through the corner. What does that do? It helps to preserve the tires for these stints.
Yeah, you could traditionally roll a little more minimum speed through the corner on that high line, and that gives you the momentum off the corner like we just saw from Ed Carpenter there on Scott Dixon, running up high there, able to pull away and clear the 9 as you see drivers looking all over the racetrack right now, trying to feel out their cars as David Malukas goes on the inside of Colton Herta, but Colton's going to roll the outside. Everyone's trying to figure out where their cars are working right now. Jack Harvey now under pressure from Felix Rosenquist, and Marcus Ericsson lurking in the background, who's up to 9th now.
You're bud. Awesome, Jeff. Keep it up. Keep feeling her out.
The mission on board with Felix Rosenquist, looking ahead on Jack Harvey. He's got to run. He's going to go to the inside. Is he up far enough? Harvey's going to hang on, not ready to give it up, and Harvey is clear again.
Such a great example how on the low line, James, you can get trapped inside, and you really have to start pedaling the car because it wants to just float up, glide up, slide up to the outside of the track.
Yeah, you could hear that on board. Felix having to work the throttle so it doesn't slide up into the 45. He did a high line in 2 to get the big run off, dove to the inside of 3, but Jack's just got that momentum on the high line right now. This is going to be a 3-4 lap battle, I think, before it sorts itself out. Now the leaders have reached the back of the field. They're going through lap traffic. That's Dolan Kellett, the first one down, and both the top 2 have cleared him now. And this yesterday, guys, is where I thought Joseph Newgarden was so spectacular.
Yeah, he carved through the field at the finish with lap traffic. Pato O'Ward was running in second, but interestingly enough, Scott McLaughlin was out there. Team Penske, they pitted him with about 20 laps to go on fresh tires. He was able to let Newgarden, his teammate, by. McLaughlin had issues earlier on and basically able to act as like a pick on Pato O'Ward. So pretty clever team strategy at work there as we ride on board with Newgarden, chasing his teammate through traffic. And you're right, James, decision-making is everything here. It has to be decisive, but it also has to be intelligent. You just can't throw caution to the wind with these lap cars. Wow.
Way down there on the left, I think that might be Simon Pagenaud. He's been black flagged, no radio communication. It is a must to hear from the spotter.
Yeah, the spotter is a safety element. It really is. They're your eyes in the sky. They sit on top of the grandstands and really help you see what's happening behind you. And it is mandatory as we see one of the first cars in the lead lap down to pit lane.
Not a good side for Connor Daly to have to pit this early. That was 2021 champion Alex Palou that the Team Penske boys just blew past. If this thing stays green for another 100 laps, James, Power and Newgarden could lap the field. They are just smoking it.
They really are on a frightening pace right now for the rest of the field. Pato O'Ward almost 7 seconds behind already, 50 laps into this race. That is definitely a warning for everyone else. But you see, when Will's got clean air, he can open up a bit of a gap, only one car in front of him. It's when they hit those clusters of traffic that Joseph just seems to have, whether it's slightly more grip, better balanced car, or just like you say, making the right decisions, car placement, and reading the traffic a little better.
The thing that I see out of Will Power is great patience right now. Really considered. Every move is very measured. He's thinking through when to make those moves, not taking huge risks. Luckily, as a race fan, these 2 guys have great race cars. We should see them battle it out for many laps to come.
Meanwhile, let's check in with Jimmy Johnson, who found 3, maybe 4 lanes yesterday. How's it going today?
Oh boy.
This is what we were worried about, James. There's a limit.
There is a limit, and it's amazing how slick it feels up there. When you get up there, Jimmy's out of the throttle. He's just hanging on for dear life. There's no grip in that race car. Yesterday, he's the one giving everybody a crash course on running the high line, but I think he may have found the limit himself today.
And I circled the screen because those marbles build. It's totally different lap 10 versus where we are right now, lap 55. By lap 100, if there's no yellow and no sweepers, it's going to be like cookie crumble up top.
Two Swedes are having a good day, and Marcus Ericsson is going inside of Felix Rosenqvist right now.
What I love him, you saw Marcus got a bit understeer, came up into the 7 of Felix Rosenqvist with his mission on board, and he had to get out of the throttle. That allowed Felix to keep the position, but now Marcus coming back up top.
Here's what's crazy about this battle, guys. This is the battle for 6th position. These guys are having a great day. They're only 5 seconds ahead of Power and Newgarden right now. So you might think you're having a great day. Your spotter's going to be telling you leaders are coming soon. You're like, wait, what?
That's unreal. As they run right now, you see Power would overtake in the championship Marcus Ericsson. He'd be down to 2nd. Joseph Newgarden 3rd, but only 7 points between them as the reigning champion Alex Palou from Chip Ganassi Racing is in pit lane.
And that's a little bit earlier than you'd want. That's a driver that's really been struggling for the balance, and the team is saying, okay, this is the early side of the window. Good pit stop, though, from the 10 crew, that Ridgeline car down and away.
And the hits keep on coming for Meyer Shank Racing. Improper pit entry for Elio Castroneves. Stop and go coming for him. So now early on, neither one have any chance today.
Bad day getting worse.
The thing about pit lane here is you do go 2 laps down because it's such a short lap as Scott Dixon heads to pit lane. Dave Burns.
And his car hinge was a little bit on the understeer side, so they'll make an adjustment here for him to get the 9 a little bit better. They made some adjustments overnight as well. Scott was fairly confident when I talked to him earlier today.
Alexander Rossi, he's been into pit lane. We see him drive by the leader. It just shows you the advantage of those fresh Firestones. Him and Alex Palou pulling away as Pato Ward's down there.
Pato Ward said he's been struggling with the wind in turns 3 and 4. Crew can't do anything about that, except they can make the car a little more compliant. Sounds like one turn of wing. You see Marcus Ericsson on pit road as well. That car has been good handling today. Felix Rosenqvist in front of him, battling on the track and now battling it out on pit road.
Chip Ganassi Racing versus McLaren Racing in the pits, and Marcus Ericsson wins that battle off. These first laps, Townsend out of the pits, getting up to speed, so important on these green flag cycles.
Also so inspiring. Your race car feels amazing compared to what it felt like when you entered pit lane. Ericsson blends out. There's Pagano, who pitted a while ago on the high side, but you get so much grip as Team Penske will go to battle on pit lane. This is the race for the lead.
Dylan, go ahead.
Really nice first stint here for the Penske cars. They'll pit right in front of each other. No changes for Will Power. 65 laps. He's happy with the race car, Dave.
See if they make a change here for, yes, a wing change. Remember, Newgarden said he wanted more front. Here is the race now. Will Power goes back by.
Man, there's a bit of pride within the team there about who got their driver out first, side by side in pit lane.
But it's wide enough here that if Newgarden can get off the button and stay to the inside, he might have the advantage. They almost touched.
I think they did touch.
Big risk, guys, down on that apron. It is so dirty, so many marbles, all the dust down there. Huge risk going side by side. But this is what you got to do. Every inch of this concrete, this pavement rather, is racetrack. You got to go for it. One of the things that made an advantage for Joseph Newgarden, this is coming into the pits, a replay, really close that gap. You see him locking up. But on the way out, he's on the inside lane. Technically, that's the slow lane, but because it bends around the corner, it's actually a shorter radius, so you can see him technically gaining on Will Power right now, even though they're going the exact same speed, and then almost contact, Townsend.
Oh. I mean, there might have been. If so, it was just. And 69 laps in, Kevin, these two are going to be going at it all race long. Just in front of Will Power, Roman Grosjean. That's the 11th place driver about to go a lap down. Grosjean still, though, 2 races in a row, having a great run. His first time here at Iowa. Power to the inside. Newgarden's going to study it. Time it as Power slides up. Grosjean not wanting to give up the lap, fighting back. I don't think Power would have expected that much of a defense.
I'm not sure Power really knew what was happening there. I think he just got a big understeer that lost his momentum. Here. And look at the number 2 lurking in the wheel tracks of the Verizon Chevy.
Now Grosjean running the high line. Power having to adjust and cut down low to get clean air on his front wing.
as they run, these two are separated by 7 points in the championship. Power in front of the red and black car. Newgarden in the white and black car to the inside, side by side. Battle for the lead. Newgarden has the line, and lap traffic potentially is going to come into play with Grosjean in the same line as Will Power.
And Grosjean has so much control over the result here of this Team Penske battle, depending on where he runs his car. Grosjean goes all the way high. Newgarden has clean air. Power washes up the track.
Yesterday's winner, Newgarden, is back in front.
Can we talk about the fact Scott Dixon's in 7th place?
Yep.
Up 11, he started down in 18th. Likewise, Marcus Ericsson called him out at the top of the show, up to 4th from a 15th place. Both those Ganassi Racing cars up 11 spots so far.
And both about to get lapped. Well, Dixon has been lapped. Jimmy Johnson about to get lapped by Newgarden. There are only 5 cars on the lead lap. This is nuts.
So Pato O'Ward running in third, dealing with a pair of cars trying to find a way around. You know, normally when you're a lap down, guys, you're thinking, oh, my race is over. I'm just trying to stay out of the way. That's not the case today. You're still racing. 1, a caution can come out. You get your lap back. But 2, you can finish in the top 5 a lap
Rinus
down.
VeeKay almost crashed there down low. Huge save from the driver of that orange Bittenile car as Colton Herta goes to the high side. And now VeeKay just hanging on. He probably still hasn't caught his breath after that.
I was just going to say, he's going to be catching his breath for a couple laps. So let's right on board the game bridge on board with Colton Herta. You see a little wiggle and then a big slide and a snap. And Colton has to react and get up into the gray to avoid contact.
We have our first caution of the day. It is for AJ Foyt Racing rookie Kyle Kirkwood, who was right there near the leader, Joseph Newgarden.
Yeah. Kyle Kirkwood just gets in a little high, had to leave room for Joseph Newgarden to the inside and up in the marbles. And this is what happens after 120 laps of green flag running. Take a look at the left side tires for Kyle Kirkwood. You can see just the huge amount of pickup after he spun, but that stuff is all on the racetrack. IndyCar will sweep that now that there's a yellow, but eventually someone's going to wreck because there's just no grip up that high.
We're on lap 122 by this point of the day. Yesterday, we had already had 2 cautions. That means 2 attempts for the safety team to go out and sweep the top of the racetrack. So like you say, Townsend, there's just so much more accumulation. You can even see it on the entry down below. Basically, anywhere these cars aren't running is now littered with marbles, the bits of rubber that roll up off the tire, and just dust and dirt.
But an important opportunity for everybody that's 1 lap down to get a lap back under this caution. So everything's going to get reset here, and for Newgarden and Power, there'll be another Team Penske battle on pit lane.
The leaders are in. Dylan's down there.
And Will Power, once again, no changes for the Verizon Chevy, number 12. He'll get 4 fresh Firestone tires and a tear off, and only thing he wanted was some clean air. He'll maybe have a shot at that now, Dave.
Well, did you see that big gap that all the lapped cars left Joseph Newgarden to 2nd place, Will Power? He'll take advantage of that and leave pit road now cleanly.
Dylan, what's going on with the 30?
Well, it's a brake issue, and they are just behind pit wall. They're not even in the garage, just kind of on the pedestrian walkway here, but bleeding the brakes right now for Lundgaard, which is obviously disappointing. You see him coming down pit road, never got the car stopped, so obvious problem there and disappointing. They had their best, Christian had his best oval finish yesterday, finished 10th with a nice drive, and obviously not going to get that today.
All right, it is a fresh reset. We're still short of the halfway point of the second half of the Hy-Vee IndyCar doubleheader weekend. The Hy-Vee Salute to Farmers 300. It's Newgarden, Power, Award, Ericsson, McLaughlin, back to green on this short track, and it's side by side for third. That's Ericsson going to the low side of that orange and black car of Pato O'Ward.
Red and white car, Marcus Ericsson being very aggressive on the low line. Everybody on fresh tires. It is Hero Brave on fresh Firestones. Further back, they're too wide, but O'Ward now challenging Power for second.
Right up against the wall on the exit of 4, side by side across the line. The orange and black car, the McLaren of Pato O'Ward trying to make the high line work. Will Power not wanting to give up that spot, and this is absolutely what Joseph Newgarden wants to see as he starts running off in the distance.
Yesterday it was this car, Pato O'Ward, that was really the only threat for Newgarden at the finish.
Will's going to do everything he can to take off your line here. No pressure from the 8.
You hear spotter Chris Wheeler for Pato O'Ward saying Will Power's doing everything he can to throw you off your line. On board here with Colton Herta.
Up ahead is a lapped car, one of the Meyer-Shank entries. Felix Rosenquist was the next car in line here. Pato still trying to get by Will Power, not able to make it stick off of 4.
Wow, Power getting really defensive there, sliding up in front of Power.
He's going to be a hard guy to pass. Just stay patient. You got a better car than he does.
Taylor Kyle on the radio to Pato O'Ward, bigging his driver up. Pato in the wheel tracks of Will. He needs to maybe get up high a little bit.
Here's what I do if I'm Will Power. I would chill right now. I would run clean air, protect my tires. We're going to catch the tail end of the lead lap in about 5 or 6 laps. So save your tires and then pounce when Newgarden and Power get to lap traffic. Pato O'Ward right on the gearbox of Will Power now. Backs out going into 3. Few more laps before Newgarden and Power pick up lap traffic. The first car will be, I believe, Alexander Rossi.
So close on entry there was Pato O'Ward, but as Will Power came down, takes the air off the front wing, he slides up the racetrack. You hear Pato just lifting, waiting to see what line Will Power takes. Then he just goes the other way just to get that fresh air onto the car, that extra downforce.
Oh, there you go. You hit Pato with the big lift there. I think Pato's now doing what we talked about, which is, all right, I'm going to lay back.
Trying to do it. You're doing a really good job here. You got a better car than he does, for sure.
I'm going to lay back and just wait until the right moment. As you see the Firestone telemetry on the lower left-hand side, watch the throttle lifts here. Big coast phase, keeping a gap now, so there's a bubble of clean air on his car. It takes the load off the Firestones. It preserves them for later on.
Pato's teammate Felix Rosenqvist having a solid day, running in 7th right now, and he is looking for 6th, and he's got it.
James, what a job for Scott Dixon. Frankly, all the Chip Ganassi racing drivers having a pretty decent day, Jimmy Johnson included with Marcus Ericsson, but for Scott Dixon, up 13 positions from the start, at half distance, in the top 5, closing in the championship, closing in the race, doing what Dixon does best. Kevin, it almost went south for Joseph Newgarden. He got cut off with lap traffic. Will Power has a run now, and Newgarden, guys, almost got up in the dirty stuff. That was close.
And that's all it takes. We talked about that momentum shift with Scott McLaughlin, just getting a little bit off, and it can take you a lap or 2 to spool the thing back up, get your momentum going. He's going to have some dirt on his tires. Will's thinking about it, not quite close enough.
Newgarden got the lead after Power lost some momentum with lap traffic earlier in the race. Might it come back the other way? Here it is again.
David Malukas fighting to stay on the lead lap. Newgarden looks inside, and there's the jet wash. He just rifles through that big void of air as Malukas comes across his bow. And quick set of hands, and you're just hoping don't get too high because it's unrecoverable like we saw from Kirkwood early if you get all 4 tires in the dust.
And again, you saw the big correction from Joseph Newgarden. It was a big moment. He was off the throttle completely, just trying to bring the thing back in line. That is such a heart in the throat sort of moment, especially when you're dominating a race like this. Over 100 laps led so far today from Joseph Newgarden.
The other thing you got to be careful of is marble accumulation on the inside, the D-cell lane. The rubber goes high and it also goes low as Newgarden locked up the rears coming to the pit line, Dylan.
So here's Will Power. You see him peeling off right there. Will's been really happy with his race car. 4 tires going on, fuel going in, waiting on an adjustment. Don't see one for Power. He's happy, Dave.
None either for Joseph Newgarden. Last time he said to leave the balance alone. This time as well, and once again, he'll lead his teammate off of pit road.
Yeah, but it looks like Felix Rosenqvist is going to lead them both off.
Rosenqvist, I think, was about to get lapped, so
he's just staying on the lead.
He's trying to stay on the lead lap. Here comes Newgarden on fresh tires. They're both on fresh tires. Watch Newgarden flex his authority to the high side, but Rosenqvist having none of it. He keeps his foot in it.
He wants to stay on that lead lap as best he can, but a full send around the outside. We talked about how important these in and out laps were, and look at the gap to Power. Joseph Newgarden absolutely dominating on this out lap compared to Will Power. 2 cars in between them.
It was also a chance to help his teammate Pato O'Ward, who was running second. If he could have stayed in front, he might have been able to back Newgarden back up a little bit. But there's O'Ward right behind Felix Rosenqvist.
So through that pit exchange, Pato O'Ward has taken second place once again from Will Power.
That's super impressive. Look at how they did it. Thanks to NTT on the pit stop. Pato O'Ward crushing it on his in lap. Shorter time on pit lane and the out lap, a 3-second advantage to Will Power.
Let's look at this just a moment ago with Colton Herta from the Gamebridge on board.
Big slide up from David Malukas right in front of the 26 Gamebridge car. It's a bit of a no-no. We saw a little bit of that earlier when he was getting lapped by Joseph Newgarden, came right down and took the air away. So some rookie lessons, I think, being learned there from David Malukas.
There's no penalty for taking air. So Wonder if Malukas is just learning or doesn't know any better because he's a young driver racing at Iowa and IndyCars for the first time, or if he's learned some of the tricks from the Masters.
And just like that, the leader who has dominated the weekend is into the wall. We've heard from Joseph Newgarden. He responded. He said he's okay. He sounded out of breath and said he does not know what happened. The leader has crashed out trying to sweep the weekend.
We have had just one yellow up until this moment, and all that green flag running gets the track dirtier and dirtier, and Newgarden continuing to flirt with the high line. I don't know if that's what led to this, but we'll get a chance on this replay. He's nowhere near the high line. He just loses it down low. Did something break?
There was a puff of smoke there. That seemed bizarre.
Let's listen. We're going to watch again, and let's just listen.
Oh, something broke.
Failed.
Motor let go. Not his fault at all.
Now this caution sets up a shootout for the end of the race, though, guys. We're definitely within the window for the last stop. Pato O'Ward, who inherits the lead, Will Power, and a slew of cars in the lead lap coming into the pits.
And you see that huge gap back to Will Power from Pato. They told Will to try to close up as much as he could. Not going to matter, though. 4 tires and fuel. No adjustments again for Power, Dave.
You see Pato pulling away. A nice 4-tire change for his crew, sending him back out. The 3 of Scott McLaughlin now running third. He's in as well. Remember, he had that car that was either wrecking loose or it was pushing. So they're going to make an adjustment here for Scott and send him away. Right in front of him, Scott Dixon. This will be interesting off of pit road.
That's going to be close between Dixon and McLaughlin in the line. It looks like Dixon just squeaked out in front. Marcus Ericsson comes out in front of his teammate Jimmy Johnson.
All right, let's get a reset. Nobody has to pit again. The Firestones will last. That said, if there's another caution, they might dive down. We'll have 50 laps to go. This is the same distance as the race yesterday, but 50 more today at Iowa Speedway. The Hy-Vee IndyCar weekend is green again. Pato O'Ward, Will Power, Scott Dixon, Scott McLaughlin. The battle is back there for fourth. Marcus Ericsson in that red and white car looking for a look. And Jimmy Johnson going again on the high side.
Oh, that's where he loves to live. Jimmy Johnson taking advantage on the restart, putting a move on his teammate Marcus Ericsson in that red and white Husky Chocolates car. They almost touch.
And Alex Palou right behind in this battle. That's 3 Ganassi cars all running together. Palou a lap down, not for position, but these guys all going wheel to wheel.
I thought Jimmy Johnson might lose it there. Jimmy's got a run on Scott Dixon, but it looked awfully loose in turns 1 and 2.
It was a mess.
Oh, he almost lost it again. Jimmy Johnson's all over the track.
He knows how to drive a loose race car. He's proved that time and time again.
That's 2 saves in 1 lap.
Bit of a messy restart behind the leaders, but up front now it's all action. Jimmy Johnson controlling this race car, this American Legion machine, chasing down Scott Dixon.
Man.
In 5th right now, up front, Pato O'Ward held off Will Power for the restart.
And McLaughlin got ahead of Scott Dixon on that one, as we see Romain Grosjean trying to clear Alex Palou so he can get after Marcus Ericsson.
Set him up there.
Colton Herta back there in that black and yellow car going to the low side. That is Graham Rahal on the high side.
Rahal's a lap down. Colton Herta running into 8th, trying to catch his teammate Romain Grosjean for a rookie at Iowa in IndyCar. Grosjean is having a terrific weekend, a really quick learner, and he loves this aggressive, almost violent ride around Iowa. He's got big, strong hands, and he is not afraid to put it right on the edge.
Jimmy Johnson is taking a look at Marcus Ericsson once again, but there's Ed Carpenter on the high line. That is going to thwart the progress right now of Johnson, and he's going to come to the low side, and it's almost 3 wide for just a moment. Still ducking in. Now he gets in front of Carpenter, and Johnson is still on the attack.
I wonder if at this point there's someone from management at Chip Ganassi Racing saying, hey, Jimmy, I know you're having the best race of your career, but that guy's leading the championship. We need him to collect every possible point.
And the team is 4th, 5th, and 6th in this race right now. But Jimmy Johnson having his best day, frankly, in IndyCar racing to date. Been very aggressive, the most creative driver on the track in terms of experimenting with racing lines, and now he's trying to put it all together with 20 laps to go for his first top 5 finish.
Meanwhile, Colton Herta running in 11th. Big moment for him just a bit ago.
Takuma Sato sliding up the racetrack a little bit. Contact again. That's the second massive wiggle we've seen off of 4 for Herta. Nearly gets into the wall. Let's watch the onboard here.
Inside.
I guess possession is 9/10 of the law. Takuma possessed a slight lead there at the corner exit. That was not very forgiving.
Oh,
Here's
big
the
run here.
crossover.
Here we go. This could be it.
It's a great chance for Jimmy.
Marcus still has the line he wants. He's going to try to roll the outside. Just wheeling it. He's going to get a bit of a draft help here from Dalton Kellett. Dalton laps down.
Oh, but Jimmy's been running high in 3 and 4. Oh, it works out. He's got an even better run this time.
Here he comes.
Brilliant stuff.
On the current championship leader, Marcus Ericsson, red and white car on the high side, is not ready to give it up.
Oh, big wiggle for the 48-2 down low. That'll get his attention.
He's just rolling so much throttle through the middle of the corner when he can get to that high line, but Marcus is happy up there, not letting him take it, is now Felix Rosenquist trying to get that spot back from Takuma Sato off of 4.
4-8, clear.
Rosenquist did a nice job there to leave Sato with a lot of room, as Rosenquist says, let's go, feeling good.
Spotter Bobby Dalzell and strategist Billy Vincent hyping up their driver, 10 laps to go. Can they make any ground and catch up to Romain Grosjean, try to take a stab at one more spot?
And Pato O'Ward inherited the lead when Joseph Newgarden, who had led 148 laps today after dominating yesterday, crashed out with what it looks like might have been a mechanical issue and no driver fault. So O'Ward is in position to win, and that also shakes up the championship because Newgarden would have taken over the championship lead. Jimmy Johnson going at it again, and this time he has cleared Marcus Ericsson.
Oh, a little wiggle though. He's not going to have as much momentum coming off at 2. Marcus in the draft might look low here.
I think it's just enough though. Johnson was able to slide up. He got Ericsson to lift off at 2 slightly. And now Jimmy's got clean air and could go after his other teammate, Scott Dixon. As you see the replay, it was Jack Harvey checking up Ericsson at the exit coming off of 4.
And that's what we said about these decisions in traffic. You know, Marcus just got caught up behind the 45, but if I'm management at Chip Ganassi Racing, I'm talking about this, and Felix Rosenquist has caught Romain Grosjean in the number 28 DHL Honda. And he goes by.
Clear. Good job.
Pato O'Ward protecting a 4-second lead with 4 laps to go. It'll be 3 at the line.
Healthy gap over Will Power. He's really just controlled this final stint. Will hasn't had anything for him.
Yeah, I'm quite surprised. It seemed like Team Penske, certainly with Newgarden's car, had the advantage and Will Power, but later on in this race, the track temp is down almost 10 degrees from the start. It's almost like things have really come the direction of the McLaren team, with both O'Ward and Rosenquist finishing stronger than anybody else.
As they run, this would move Potts O'Ward into 5th in the championship, a 1st and a 2nd on a doubleheader weekend. That's a record to be proud of leaving here if they can seal this thing out with only a little bit to go, coming to the white flag this time.
Pato O'Ward's 3 previous wins have been on different types of tracks. This would be the 4th different type of track, a super speedway, a street course, a road course, and potentially a short oval. Less than a mile to go for Pato O'Ward. He's got a win already this season. He's been trying to fight back into the championship mix. They've had bad luck at times. Today, some good luck. Start number 50 for Pato O'Ward is win number 4. O'Ward is back in the championship mix. Wins the second half of the Hy-Vee IndyCar doubleheader in Iowa.
Way to go, boys. Way to go. Awesome weekend. Let's go.
Penske's complete the podium with Will Power and Scott McLaughlin. It's a double podium weekend for Power, who stays very much in the championship fight.
I believe the pass for the win may have been done on pit road. Your whole crew, the team, did a great job today.
It was, man. I mean, the number 5 our McLaren SP guys in the pits were awesome. I think that's what gave us our win. Obviously, I did the job in the car to keep her safe and just to maintain there. I knew we had the pace, but it's just tough whenever you're going through the traffic. You know, the guys in front of you have it in a different way than you do, so it's different every lap. So yeah, super stoked, super happy. We knew that we had a great car, so I think it was all about just capitalizing and being there when it counted. And yeah, the guys did a great job calling when we had to pit, and it was very, very enjoyable. I got to thank Team Chevy, Aero McLaren SP, Aero Electronics, Velo Mission.
Watch the Gallagher Grand Prix on the IMS Road Course Saturday, July 30th at noon on NBC.